and do the adding job. So 24 cords, log cords, that's what I came up with. Today on In the Wood Yard, we're on a road trip. We're going to look at some logs. Here we go. So there is a person that watches my channel. His name is Brian. He is from a small town just north of me, I don't know, 15 miles or so. And he contacted me to let me know, long-time viewer, he says he's been watching the channel for a long time. He's got a business. It's a gardening business. I think they do wholesale plants from what I can tell. And they're relocating their business. The bunch of logs that he's got, I'm thinking that he got them through cutting trees down and he saved all the good stuff. It looked like there was a bunch of oak and some locust and some other stuff. He sent me some pictures and I'll put them into the video here so you can take a look at them. So here's the pictures. There's a bunch of nice wood and we're going to walk around and look at it. I'm going to measure it. We're going to kind of figure out how much he actually has here. It's quite a bit of wood and it looks like a lot of really good stuff. So let's go check it out. And the reason that I'm going to look at him is he is moving his business and he needs to get rid of the logs because they have limited space where they're going, and I don't think he wants to move them and then have them there or whatever. So basically he said that he's interested in getting rid of them. He wants to make a few bucks, which can't blame him. And maybe I can get him, you know, at a price that it's good for both of us, that he makes some money and I buy him and I can turn it into firewood and I can make some money. So I'm going to look at them right now. And from what I can tell there's some nice logs. There are some bigger ones, smaller ones, kind of different lengths. I'm not sure how much there is. He thinks there's 3 truckloads, but I don't know if that means semi-loads or his truckloads. And he gave me a price as if I pick them up, and he gave me a price as if he would load them up and haul them to me. So I don't know. We're just going to go take a look and see what it is, and I'll show you guys what there is. And I'm going to try to measure it and try to get a feel for how much there is so I know, you know, where I'm even going to put it and everything. He said most of it's 2 years old. It was cut from live trees. It looked like all the bark was still on. So some of it's going to be partially dry, but being that it's oak with the bark on, it's not going to be very dry because oak takes forever to dry with the bark on, like years. It's one of the things that came up in a video not too long ago. A lot of people were saying, a lot of the 2 truckloads that I got of barkless oak, they're saying that, oh, that stuff, that's got no bark on it. That'll be ready to burn right now. Well, no. Some of it will be, maybe half of it, the smaller ones. Oak dries very slowly, even if the bark is off. It's the slowest drying wood I've ever seen. That's one of the reasons why a lot of firewood people that sell firewood don't like oak. They like it because it sells really well and people like it, but they don't like it because it takes forever to dry. And it's just one of those kinds of wood that has great benefit because of its characteristics, but it also sucks too. Some of the good things about oak, everybody wants it, so it sells really well. It burns very nice. It's a nice, slow burning, clean burning wood if it's dry. Puts out very nice heat. It's not the best wood, but it's good wood. So it's very popular. A lot of people like it for smoking and heating. So it sells well. Benefits. The downside is that it's heavy. Very heavy. Another thing that's bad about it, like I said, it takes forever to dry. It's the slowest drying wood there is. If the bark is on, I've seen logs that I have cut left in the woods from a tree that I've cut down, and I've had it in rounds, so it's cut to 16 inches in a pile. Bigger rounds that are, you know, like anywhere from a foot to 2 feet around, just kind of stacked up in the woods, and I've left them there for a couple of years, and I come back thinking, oh, they got to be dry by now. Split them open, they're as wet as can be on the inside. It takes years for oaks to dry. My brother Ken says, and I believe this, that oak dries about 1 inch a year from all sides. So in a year it'll dry 1 inch from the ends and 1 inch from the sides. And if the bark is on, it's probably even slower. Once you get it split down, it'll dry much faster. And that's why I split a lot of my oak down smaller, because I want it to dry faster. I want it to turn over faster, meaning that I want to cut it, split it, have it in a pile, and being able to sell it within a year, minimum. I mean, whereas most of my other wood, you can sell it within months, 3 months, 6 months, and it's pretty much dry and ready to go. And I moisture test it all, and the oak is by far the slowest drying wood there is. So, but it's highly desirable, so that's good. So we're going to look at it right now. So while I'm driving here, I just thought I'd tell you a little something because, I don't know, just thought I'd tell you. I haven't done a video in like 4 days, even though you guys have been seeing videos because I was so far ahead that I had lots of videos shot that I've just been editing. I spent yesterday in bed all day. Wasn't sick. I had surgery. Nothing major, but it kicked my butt. I had to have oral surgery yesterday morning, kind of emergency. I broke a tooth a couple days ago, and I've been in major pain ever since. I have an old cavity that broke the tooth out when I was eating, so I had massive headaches. I thought my eye was going to pop out of my head, and I thought I was getting an abscessed infection. So I went in and they looked at it and they said, "Yeah, you need to get that tooth out now." They couldn't even save it. It was so bad. It was my back molar on my right side. And the dentist looked at it. She says, "You've got to be in pain." She says, because they looked at the X-rays and I looked at them too, and they looked nasty. So I had the tooth pulled. So I'm just first now getting out, and I'm not supposed to do much today. So I do have a delivery to do later today, so we'll see how that goes. But so I'm missing a tooth over here, and it hurts just to talk, so maybe I won't talk so much anymore. Let's go look at the wood. So I am at Brian's place, and he has a wood processor just like Bert made, a $200 wood processor with an electric chainsaw. It's pretty dang cool. He saw the video that we did with Bert's, saw that he hooked up onto his rig so he could cut limb wood, and he really liked it, so he made his own, and he did a really good job. If you guys look at this, it's welded up really nice. It's steel frame, and then he's got the saw mounted on the top, so very cool. So I thought I'd show you this so you guys can get a look at another version of a poor man's firewood processor. Okay, now we're going to look at some stuff. He also has this structure right here that he says that might be sold also. He didn't give me a number, but it's a possibility. It looks to me like I'll pace it off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's probably 35, 36 feet long, and it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, about 15 feet wide. So 15 by 35, something like that. And he's got some lights in there, but he said it leaks a little, needs some work. But this would be, I saw this, and I've been thinking about one of these actually for a while now. This might be something that we could put up at the farm and have this be a almost like a permanent place to put the splitter, the Ultra, and then bring wood to it, and we can go in one side, one out the other, maybe even put a conveyor in there somehow. So basically you could be in the shade or out of the rain and have it be a structure that we could work in all the time. Just an idea. Some of you might have something like this. Some of you might think that's great. Some of you might not think so, but so he's got all kinds of buildings like this that he's going to be selling too, because they're, like you said, they're moving the business. So tell me what you think about that. So Brian also has a whole bunch of these greenhouses that they're going to be selling. So the framework on it, and he said the new plastic you can get and recover it. And he said most of them, it's like $1,000 to cover these. And he's selling a lot of these frame structures. I don't know what you call them, Quincy's, greenhouses. He's selling all of this stuff too. So there's dozens of them. And so it'd be cool structures to have for storing materials in or working in, and giving me some ideas of possibilities here. So we're gonna go back and look at some wood now. So I'm in the back side of his property right here, and he's got, so this is the farthest back where he's got some logs stored. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure all the piles. There might be, I don't know, 10 different piles of wood. I'm gonna measure it all out and figure how many cords there are so that we can come up with a number that I can offer him. And he needs to have it gone in a couple weeks. So we might be doing some trailering, hauling wood. A lot of red oak is primarily what's here. There is some other things too, but primarily red oak, which is great wood. Some of the stuff he said is just from this year, some of it's from last year, some's from 3 years ago, some's from 4 years ago. It is all on stringers off the ground, and I'm gonna be figuring all this out to come up with an idea how much there is, because we don't really know. It's hard to tell just by looking at it. Some of the logs are 8 foot, some are 10, some are 12, all different lengths. So I'm gonna measure a whole bunch of this up, try to come up with a number. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, start measuring. So like this one right here, this looks like it's at least a 10, maybe a 12. I don't know, what has he got here? It's a 10 footer, so there's 3 10 footers here. Plus, looks like the stringers might be, yeah, they might be good. There might be some good wood in there. It looks like there's some older ones down here. And then over here, these are all 10 footers, 10 and a half, something like that, it looks like. Let's just look and see here, what do we got? Okay, so that's 10 and a half foot. That's what he's got there. He said he figured it out so he could cut 16-inch pieces out of them and come up with an even number. And this looks like it's all oak. So I'm gonna have to do some measuring here and figure out what I come up with. So I'm gonna do some math right now. So I just measured this pile here. They're 10 footers. And when I measure the width and the height, 3 different points, divided it all, I figured out it's about 2 full cords is what's here in these 2 piles right here. Might be just a little bit more, but I'm just gonna say 2 because they're not really even, it's hard to tell. And there are some 8 footers in there too, I found. So about 2 cords in that pile. So we're gonna go to the next one in there. So on the property here, he's got 50 acres total that he's selling. It's being sold back to the reservation because this is part of the Indian reservation outside of Green Bay here. And so they're buying their land back, which is good for them, bad for him. He said his business he's downscaling it because he doesn't want to do that much anymore, and he had a hard time getting people, and the whole COVID thing really hurt his business a lot as far as keeping people, so that's his big challenge. So he's just downsizing everything. So gonna get up front to the next couple piles. Right here is a pile, so I'll measure this one up. Then there's that little bit in there, and then there's these 2 piles over here, and then there's a bunch more up over that way. So time to do some more measuring. So in this pile here, I just measured, just by looking at it, it's an average of about 4 feet high because it slopes off, about 10 feet wide, 10-foot pieces. So again here, it's probably 2.5 cords right in here. Could be a little more, could be a little less, but I'm gonna say 2.5. That seems pretty fair. So I'm gonna add that to the total. So these logs right here, this looks like white oak. Yeah, there is probably about a cord right here. It's hard to tell, but if we take that log, yeah, it's probably about a cord, give or take. So I'll add another 1 to this, but this all looks like some pretty good stuff here too. Again, there's some odd sizes, small ones, big ones. Say another cord. So here's the next pile of logs, all different sizes in here, and looks like it's pretty much all red oak. Yeah, looks like all red oak. Looks like, yeah, there's some 6 footers back here. There's a piece of ash back here, a piece of white oak back here. And again, this is probably on average about 4 feet high, but it's on stringers, so it's an odd size again too. Let's just figure out how wide this is here. It's 12 feet, and can't really count the stringer. So we're at about a 3-foot height. And there's all different lengths here. This is a hard one to figure because there's really nothing even about it. Which is why when you're buying wood, if you want to measure it and get an idea how much is there, you want it to be even. You want to be able to measure it and kind of have it be somewhat uniform stacked. And it's a hard one too. This is at least 2 full cords here, at least. Maybe 2.5. We'll say 2.5 on this one. And on the next one, it's not quite as long of a pile, but it is a little higher. But there is, again, on this back side back here, there's a bunch of shorties. There's like a 5-footer, a 6-footer. All right, so we're gonna measure this one up. Looks like there's mostly oak in here. This is a pretty long pile, but not super high. So that's about 19 feet. That's 19, and we're gonna have a 1, 3, and a 3, and a 3. So I'm just gonna say 18 by 3, mostly 10 footers it looks like. So let's figure that out. So this is about 3.5 cords if we add this stuff that's right around the camera here. There's some stuff on the ground, looks like right here. So I'm gonna say about 3.5 for this stuff. So I'm gonna do a 3.5 on this. We got stuff over here. So that's 4 feet by almost 4 feet. So that's about a cord right there. So that's pretty easy. And then this is gonna be with the stringers, probably another cord. So there's about 2 cords right here. So we'll mark down to 2 for this pile. 4, so there's 2, easily 2 cords here. I'll mark down another 2, and there's more piles over this way. This is a pretty big pile here. A lot of odds and ends in this one. We'll see what we got here. Yeah, there's a pile right here by and there's another one on the other side. We're gonna measure this one up. It's a little bit longer one. Oh yeah, this is 16 feet. So right there's figure 4 by, and if this is 4, and that's about 3. But then right here it's 5. On that end it slopes down too. So this right here is easily 4 cords. So we're gonna say 4 on that one. We're gonna measure the other side. 4 more. There's more wood up front than there was in back. All right, so this is the last pile. It goes from that tree. Looks like it's about a 3-foot average height. And this one is about 10 feet right about to here. So yeah, we're gonna have a 36, that's 3 foot, and about 3.5 foot, and about 3 foot. So this pile's about 2.5 cords, give or take, something like that. And that's the last pile. So let's put that on. So that's about a 2.5. So now I'm going to add everything up and see what we got here. So we've got in the back, there was 10 cords. And like I said, I might be a cord over, a cord under. It's hard to measure because obviously it's different lengths of pieces, but it's kind of doing an average. And up front here, we've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. And I told them when I looked at it, I said, I think you got about 20 cords. I came up with 24. So 24 cords, log cords, that's what I came up with. So we'll go try to figure out a price right now. So I'm just left Brian's place there, and I came up with 24 cords. It could be 22, it could be 25. I don't think it's any more than that. We agreed on 24 cords. I did the best math I could with what was there, trying to figure it out. And we came up with a price, and I think I'm gonna be able to get all of it for $1,400, something like that, but I gotta haul it all, and it's gonna take us some time. So I'm gonna save some money there, but it's gonna cost us some fuel because we're gonna make a few trips back and forth. And he's got a skid steer that we can use with a grapple or forks, and we're gonna be able to load up a couple loads, take it, load up a couple loads, take it. So it's gonna take us several days of hauling in order to do what we need to do. You know, it could take 4 or 5 days, afternoons, doing that kind of stuff. So we'll see what we can do. So I'll probably pay for it as I take it, and kind of come up with a number of what it's going to be. But he needs to sell it, and he's got a lot of other stuff there that he wants to sell too. So we'll see. He might get some carts from him. He's also got some structures we'll look at. He's got some other equipment, some skid steer stuff there. So we'll see what we can do. We'll be back obviously and take a look at it and find out what'll work. So there you go. That was the road trip for today. Now I'm going back to do some other work. That's it for today, folks. You know what to do. Watch some more videos. I'll be back 5:30 tomorrow morning with another video for you. Between now and then, you're going to go to my channel, watch all the videos. There's over 1,200 waiting for you. Good night, Irene.